Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, where we break down bullshit so you don't have to. I'm Void, this is No, and let's go.
Oh, we're on.
Oh,
God.
funny.
Whoops, my bad. Welcome to Wellspring Wednesdays, everyone. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Candle Time. It's 5 cents available. Citronella, coconut, peach, sea breeze, and lakeshore. You can also find Void's albums that are going to be on there. I'll get those loaded up some point either today or tomorrow. Or, well, the holidays coming up. So some point this week.
Yeah, they're just mixtape albums. There's nothing fancy or nothing. I'm just featured on it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'd like to try to get a little bit money on my investment, as you would say.
Fair. So we'll talk and I'll get them put up there.
Out.
Yeah, so not a big deal. Buycandletime.net, links in the description. Also check out the store. You can buy merch. You can get the coffee cups, t-shirts. We got some t-shirts back there. Oh, and the tote bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this shirt.
I was trying to do the giveaways, but no one ever did. We never had winners. So, you know, maybe after we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll start doing giveaways. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. This is the topic you wanted, right?
Well,
we agreed on it.
We talked about it. We were having a discussion about, how does a modern parent come out and support their child when they're questioning their sexual identity or coming out as gay, right? Because back in our day, that was not very prevalent. It didn't happen a lot.
Not when we were kids. Well, there was
some
gay, but it wasn't as accepted as it is now.
Yeah, and I think we grew up being more accepting, and I think that's one reason why the propagation it's not a problem. It's the propagation. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for, dog.
Yeah, sorry. So words are hard.
Good. You're good.
But basically, we have more people identifying as being gay or lesbian or anything than we have ever had in our time.
Ever.
Interestingly enough, it's actually women identifying as bisexual. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I did know that.
Interesting. But the conversation was how do you actually be supportive of that, right? Because you and I both share a lot of thoughts on this where we don't care.
No, my son is my son, my daughter is my daughter. I don't care what your sexual preference is, your orientation, whatever. Okay, as long as you're not trying to force that on anybody, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I tell my kids, when you turn 18, you want to be a furry or change whatever. That's on you.
Well, you're bringing in furries, so
I'm giving an example.
So we're a little bit older, so we're still in that phase of we can make fun of, like we think we can make fun of. Oh, and
I will,
and I definitely will. I say some I said something and I got a very weird look from my girlfriend, because that's just how we were raised. Yeah. Like I'm not throwing shade or anything.
No,
it's just
we're
like
talking shit.
It's just like you're if you're gonna be this way, you got to be able to
take the hits.
Take the hits, right? Just like I'm gonna be me, and I got to be able to take the hits, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it like that's kind of always been my mentality is I could care less if you are, but if you are, don't get offended if I say something that's like
and we're
whatever.
just kidding.
It's not like I'm saying like, oh, you don't exist as a human.
No, absolutely not.
Like my stance on this is you are human. You are going to deserve respect.
Yeah. I'll respect anybody. Like, you know what I mean? That's your decision. That's your choice. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all on you.
Transitioning.
Yeah.
Personally, as an adult, if you want to transition, I don't care.
No.
I'm still going to respect you as a human.
And it seems like that's a lot of people. Like they really don't.
They don't care. They want you do you. I'm going to leave you alone.
Yeah.
As long as you're leaving me alone. Right. That's where my issue comes into play is when you start trying to force that crap.
That's what I was just about to say. Like the shit in schools, like that they're putting on the kids. And I don't think that's right. Like their kids, let them develop and figure that shit out on their own. Like,
and see what I was referring to was like the pronouns, because if you're going to if you're going to transition, so like Blair White. I just refer to Blair White as Blair White because it's so hard, and I'm trying to be respectful to Blair.
Yeah.
So I'd personally prefer to refer to them, or to Blair as Blair, because I don't want to screw up the pronouns, right?
Well, yeah.
But you can't force me to say your pronoun, right? So if you're transitioning and you identify, if you're a man and you identify as a woman, and you're saying, "Oh, you didn't call me a her," you're delegitimizing my existence. No, that's not the truth. It's just you have the common characteristics of a male. and I said sir instead of ma'am, that is not me trying to throw shade at you and delegitimize you. That's just
That's just who I am, dude. Like
that's not, you can correct me and be like, hey, I don't, okay, cool. What's your name? And then I'll just start referring to you by your name.
Exactly.
Right? Because to me, that's easier than me making mistakes. Ex-military, I refer to people as sirs and ma'ams.
Yeah. I say yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. My dad was a staff sergeant though.
So, I'm at work. I'm talking like one guy that I talk to, I refer to him as sir all the time. Mm-hmm. And he keeps giving me crap. He's like, dude, I'm not a sir. I'm not a sir. Stop saying sir. And it's gone on for over a year now, and it still happens. And now he just laughs at it and just like, he knows.
I got a funny story for you.
So go ahead and let's hear the story.
So when I was still in Colorado before I moved back here to Idaho, we were registering my son and daughter into that K-12 education program. I don't know if you've heard about it, but anyways, I'm on the phone. And there's obviously a guy trying to be a girl,
okay.
Right? And just naturally, I wasn't trying to do it to offend anybody. I was like, okay, yes, sir, yeah, all right, dude. Like, because you can obviously tell just the sound of the voice and everything. And I get off the phone, and I didn't even think nothing of it at the time. You know what I mean? But my wife was just like, what are you doing? Like, you're being rude. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? But some of these people... the person, whatever, didn't get offended or anything. Like, they didn't say anything, which is really cool because I guess they could have. But my wife was like, dude, you're going to, like, cause some shit. And it's not like I was trying to. It's just I was being respectful. You know what I mean? Like,
you're trying to be respectful,
yeah, I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. So by me saying, yes, sir, hey, dude, like, I'm trying to, like, alleviate some of the tension. But it was like I wasn't trying to be rude or anything.
Would you actually kind of bring up an interesting point on that too? Is there's in today's society, there's a lot of people that are not even involved in it that get offended on their behalf. Yeah, right. So I'm not throwing shade or anything.
No, I'm
just trying to bring that up. It's like you can say something and the person that you said it to is not offended, but someone else is, and it's just like, stop it. Quit being offended. Stop being. If they're okay with it, then you should be okay with it.
Right.
If they have an issue with it, they're going to bring it up, and then you, as a respectable human, should be doing your best to try not. Right. But don't force to say the pronoun because like people make mistakes.
Yeah, I have a really good friend that I grew up with, who was actually transitioning into a woman, like taking the pills and everything like that. And that person, like, I grew up with, like, this dude pulled more girls when we were younger than I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they told me that, I was like, okay, whatever. And they were like, you're okay? I was like, I don't care. That's your deal. You're an adult. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we had several conversations about it. And most of the conversations that we had we were on pretty much the same level. Like, yeah, don't be putting that shit on kids. You know what I mean? Like, what the schools are doing is wrong. And it's just weird coming from somebody who was going through that community or that area of life. You know what I mean? But now, like, over like a year, 2 years later, that person has quit taking the meds and is
doing
detransition. Yeah, detransition, remaining, because from what they've told me is just, dude, they were so depressed. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of shit was happening mentally and physically, and they were like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So that's from somebody in that community or was in that community. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's kind of ironic to hear that. Anyways.
No, it's interesting. So anyway, what we did was just did a quick Google search, and we're going to read the AI response on how you can best support your child.
I want to hear what AI says.
Yeah, so let's.
I'm curious. All right.
Are you? Yep, perfect. Thank you. So here are some ways you can support your child with their sexuality. Be open and approachable. Let your child know that you're there for them and that they can talk to you about anything. You can show interest in how they see themselves in their experiences and share your own experiences of growing up. Okay.
That's legit.
That's legit. Go ahead. Read the next one, bud.
Listen. Invite your child to share their thoughts and feelings with you and ask direct questions. Let them take the lead and don't push them to talk before they're ready.
That's interesting. That almost seems like a contradiction.
Yep.
Because if you're asking direct questions, then you are pushing them, right?
I mean, you said it, not me.
Interesting. Okay, that one's a little more interesting.
Be supportive. Let your child know what you love and support them, that you support them no matter what, and that your family accepts all gender identities and sexual orientations. You can also praise things you see them saying and doing that are about being true to themselves.
Well, I think that's the role of any parent. See, this is kind of one of the conversations we had off air, which is, it makes no sense to me that a parent would not be supportive, regardless of what your child is going through. Mm-hmm. So let's, I brought up the religious context, the devout religious people that disown their child for coming out.
Yeah, I don't know about anything like that.
Like, to me, that's just odd, because you're breaking the relationship and you're breaking your
destroying the relationship.
You are destroying
cases,
and you're breaking down any chance of having your viewpoint heard. Like
you're building those barriers between people understanding and acceptance.
Right. Because if you're a devout religious person and you shun because to you view that as a sinful, you're actually doing a disservice to your child, because if you truly believe this, if you truly believe this, that this is the way it is, and you don't support them in that fact, you don't have to support them in that fact. No. You just have to support them.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. You can disagree with their life choice, but if you break that bridge down, then you can never, ever have any opportunity to help them reach what you believe is correct.
Yeah.
Even if they ultimately never do. The simple fact that you break that relationship, to me, is just insane. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you not be supportive? Like, hey, I understand this is how you feel. I disagree with it because of these reasonings, and like whatever. Like, the Bible says this or whatever. Yeah. Like you can. But not being able to have that conversation just kind of screws it. Sorry.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is kids are rebellious. Oh, God. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they're going to test those boundaries with you. They're going to see what they can get away with. They're going to test you, your loyalty, your faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand that. Like, and we agree that it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. I don't care. You're my child at the end of the day. And I will support you no matter what. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to, be like, oh, yeah, let's go to a gay bar together. But, like, you want to do that when you're old enough, that's your choice.
It's your choice.
So
100%. So I do agree with the be supportive. And yeah, I guess I was just wanting to bring up that about religious people, because that one I was just kind of boggles my mind. Like,
how you can just abandon your child like that.
Like, to me, that's just weird. It doesn't matter what they want to do in life. You should support your child in any way. I mean, they could go out and commit murder. You should still be supportive in the fact. You should recognize the fact that they did an evil thing.
You did wrong.
You did wrong, but you're still my child, and I'm still going to love you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Where's the body? Let's hide it. I'm just kidding.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Wow.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
So teach them about their sexuality. Help your child understand their sexual development by teaching them how to enjoy their sexuality and keep themselves safe. You can also teach them to be curious about their bodies and that sexual development is natural. Oh, God. That's worded very predatory.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying.
Like,
you guys need to work on your AI.
Yeah, that's worded very predatory.
Help your child understand their sexual development by teaching them how to enjoy their sexuality and to keep themselves safe.
I agree with the part with keeping themselves safe. Talk to your child about safe sex, but teaching them how to enjoy it.
No,
that crosses a line there, guys. That's
weird.
That is really weird.
You can also teach them to be curious about their bodies and that sexual development is natural.
I don't necessarily know if you want to teach them to be curious, but express that they are going to be curious.
Yeah, hey man, you're going to start growing hair in funny places and thinking about boys or girls.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But I'm not going to teach you. No, that's on you. You got to figure that out. Or am I thinking of this wrong?
I don't know, because I'm in the same mindset here. Like, to me, that's really weird that you're trying to teach. Like, that, to me, that just crosses a line.
Yeah, I am not a child predator. I'm not teaching my kids nothing.
Exactly. I like how he's just over there giggling.
Because he understands, right? You don't want your old man or your mom to be like, hey, this is how you do it. No, fuck no.
That's weird.
That is... you said predatory. What?
Yeah, it's predatory.
No.
Scroll down.
All right, let's see what the next one is. Normalize LGBTQIA plus Z. What's the Z? I'm just kidding. It's not what it says. You can share books that feature LGBTQIA plus storylines and characters and ask questions to check in on your child's understanding. You can also speak openly about non-straight people in your life and use people's correct pronouns.
I'm going to push back on this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think having your child reading any of the propaganda put out by the LGBTQIA plus community is appropriate. I think it's
horrible.
I think it's appropriate to teach them to respect the people in that community.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% agree with that. No, but I've seen and read some of the books, and that is something I would never let my child read.
Absolutely not. 100%. I've seen some of the ones that they have in schools, and it's teaching them how to perform
anal sex and everything with another man.
No.
I mean, do you remember that one story about the teacher that was actually teaching kids how to go on Grindr or whatever to find? Right. Like that stuff is not acceptable.
This is AI.
This is AI.
This is the AI. Oh my God.
That's not throwing shade at the LGBTQI community. What I'm trying to express is that the ultimate push that they're trying to do is to normalize their things, and I don't think that's correct. I think it's correct to get the people to respect you as a human, but you should not be doing some of the things that they're trying to do in these books. It's predatory. It is 100% predatory. So you can openly speak about non-straight people in your life, right? We both know gay people. We just did that. We both know, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And using people's correct pronouns, that's the part that gets me is that's a call for action.
Sounds like they're pushing.
Yeah. Yep. Like I've said, you want pronouns to be used, I'm just going to refer to you as your name, like Blair White.
I like at the bottom it says generative AI is experimental.
Yeah.
What are you guys putting into the programming of this?
So it's interesting because there's a lot of good things that came in this, but there is also some really predatory things that I think are...
and that's sad that's what they're trying to normalize, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
I don't...
Because didn't they have to put this into the AI for it to generate this? So to speak, or am I thinking I don't?
No. AI just has boundaries parameters
That's what I'm saying,
right? So what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, blah blah blah, right? So, but if you ever looked at any of these big tech corporations that are doing any of the AIs, there are very left leaning.
Exactly,
AIs.
That's my point.
So,
if you're going to create an AI program, I think you should completely have all of the opinions and. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would have been nice to see this is what the LGBT or, this community believes and this is how you should do it. And then also go into the ultra conservative, the evangelicals and say this is how they believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Compare to contrast.
Right. Because I'm not anyone to say which one's right or wrong.
No. And that's not what we're doing, except for that predatory shit right there.
The predatory things got me a little bit concerned. And you should go ahead and give that a thumbs down. And the reason why I say give it a thumbs down is because there's a lot of predatory statements in this.
It's almost like they're, in California, they're trying to normalize pedophilia.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, dude. They're passing laws to where, I forget what law it is. Don't quote me on that. But,
hey, give that a thumbs down for me, bud.
It's okay to have, or it's a misdemeanor to have anal sex with anybody under the age of 12 or something like that. I shit you not, dude. I saw it. Who was talking about that? I think it was Tim Cast, actually. There's some weird laws that they're trying to pass in California. Well, after the show, we'll look into it if you want, but.
Or if you know about it, put links in the description, in the comments for us.
All right, what's next? That was
that
was weird, dude.
Well, I think we kind of covered it. Be supportive. You can't disown them, and if they have questions, I think do your best to answer those questions openly, and honestly.
Just be open with them.
Even if your viewpoint does not match up with being accepting of homosexuality in any way, shape, or form, if you're don't believe in that. You should still answer it openly and honestly to your viewpoint, right?
Yep.
But if you're going to do that, you also need to make sure that you're expressing to them that no matter what, you're still going to love and support them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's kind of my stance is like,
More or less,
yeah.
I mean, I would love my kids regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they're your kids. You want the best for them.
Yeah.
And
I want them to be safe, and I want them to feel comfortable, like they can talk to me about things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
hey, Dad, what's up?
But what was interesting, though, is you said that they actually talked to your wife.
Yeah, they talk to my wife more than me. Dad's the hard ass.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here.
Fine.
I wanted to bring this up to highlight this viewpoint. Is fathers, we typically don't understand these things because men, in generality, are not the communal creatures that women are.
We're not
right?
the social.
We're not social like that. So men typically don't get approached with this stuff.
Yeah.
However,
and my kids don't, but they do trust my wife enough, which is fine as long as it's somebody in our family. You know what I mean?
So where I'm going with this is it highlights the differences between men and women and the roles, the importance of having both a mother and a father figure in a child's life, because fathers typically cannot provide this type of support for their children. Yeah. And if you're a single father and you struggle with it, just keep in mind that you do have to put on your big boy pants and get into like, to me, I find it uncomfortable to have these kinds of conversations.
See, and that it doesn't bother me.
I should say uncomfortable. It's just it's not something I want to.
It's not your normal.
Yeah, it's not my normal. But if I need to have it, I need to be able to be willing to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and you are like, you would do fine.
Well, I try.
I think you do fine.
I will say that the girlfriend is definitely, obviously, very supportive. She's corrected me on some things and helped me become a better.
Well, and that's
parent.
why you need both in the relationship.
In a relationship, you have a king and a queen.
Mm-hmm.
A king is only as valuable as his queen. Like, think about it on chess. Yeah. A king can only do so much, but the queen is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, you need that queen in order to protect your king.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that's just my thought. You want to end it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys let
drop
us
some
know what
comments.
You thought.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor, Candle Time. Buy candletime.net. Check us out. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then, peace.